My name is Jason Gush. I'm the program lead and mental health lead at Eastwive here. So we're a not-for-profit organisation. We help the youth out ages 15 to 24. We basically get a lot of referrals for youth justice and Queensland Police. A lot of these kids come to us from broken homes and we sort of get them back on the right track in 10-week programs. This is actually the last week of our program for the first one of the year. And I thought I'd get Darcy to come in and talk to the boys about his story. I think he's got a really powerful story that he could share with the boys that might actually relate a lot to the boys. So our 10-week program looks a little bit something like we get them through a Cert 1 in construction, white card, first aid CPR, and then we work on the mental health side of things. So my belief is that it doesn't matter what you do out in the big bad world, if you're not right up here and in here, then you're just going to continue to run on patterns and destroy everything and everyone in your life. So these boys help build these big tiny homes over there as part of their practical for their first aid and for their Cert 1 in construction. And then by the end of the 10 weeks, which would be now, we get a lot of them into jobs that they want to do and sort of get them on the right path. And that's basically it in a nutshell, brother.
So my goal here is to come here and tell my story to you guys, okay? And hopefully, obviously the power of relating to someone and relating to what you're going through gives you hope. Okay, because, you know, in school, everyone like that, they come in, a copper comes in and talks to you, or a football player, and you're like, how the fuck am I meant to relate to you? You know what I mean? But trust me, I've been in, there's aspects of my story that I guarantee you can relate to. And my goal here is to come here, speak, and if I can get one of you to change and be like, fuck, I'm gonna get my shit together, I'm gonna listen to these guys who are actually here to help you and try to point you in the right path and have a good future, fucking great. Okay, but the reality is, we get caught up in what we're doing because we don't care when we're young, we don't give a fuck. Okay, and there's most you're gonna keep doing the little things you're gonna do, you're gonna fall into crowds because at the end of the day, you all wanna be a part of something, have a sense of belonging, yeah? Okay, and wanna have a purpose, and most of you feel like you don't have a purpose, whether it's from a broken home or being bullied or anything like that. When you're younger, there's always situations that want us to be a part of something. You know, when we're a part of crime groups, everything like that. Like I was a fucking little lad, I was Eshe, I loved it, painting trains, fucking stealing shit, armed robberies, just how everything I was doing, that was my whole life. But I fell into that circle because I wanted to belong. Okay, I wanted to have a sense of belonging. I want to be a part of something. And we all sense a community, want to be somewhere. And when we're alone, you know, in school, you can't relate to the punts that are doing good at football or the kids that are good in class because we feel like we're not enough. We feel like we're excluded. And the kids, sort of where I fell into that sense of belonging was the kids that weren't doing good. Okay, was having a diary at the back over everything because I was bullied as a kid. Okay, I was picked on for being fat, cried at school every day, went home, cried myself to sleep, everything like that. I felt like I wasn't enough. You know, so when I found this purpose and this community in school with the bad kids, the rebels, it was my belonging. I was accepted. And that's why I fell into this life of this, fuck everything else that matters. I didn't care about my family. I didn't care about my education, my future. Fuck my future. I don't care about that. My dream way of dying when I was young was die high. You know, if I was committing crimes and I was fucking breaking the law and I was doing what I need to do, that's sweet. That's my thrill. This is my purpose. And I found that sense of belonging with this group. You know, and then on weekends I started drinking. I started going out and we're drinking. And we're going to a mate, you want to come to mine for a drink up? I've never been invited to a mate's for anything. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm in. Let's go. And then started binge drinking on weekends. Obviously started smoking weed. Then started smoking weed before school, going to school stoned as fuck, not giving a fuck, getting in fights at school, everything like that. And with the group that I sort of fell into, was like on these weekends when we're drinking there, the older brothers were like old school lads, like in and out of jail, fucking junkies, jailbirds, crackheads, but that was my idols. These were my role models. You know, it wasn't a good sense of role models or a figure, but they were feared. You know, and when I was a young pup growing up, these boys were like, you don't fuck with him. He's got out of jail. He just did for a couple of years, bro. He's back on the run. He's doing all this crime. I'm like, this is my man. Like that's who I want to be. And my mates' older brothers were these boys. So they took me under their wing very young. Okay, so I was 11, 12 years old, you know, already drinking heavily, smoking. I was expelled from 3 schools. No school in all Brisbane would accept me. I wasn't accepted anywhere. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I don't have to go to school anymore. So that's when I started obviously hanging out with these boys more and more. And from a young age, about 11, 12 years old, I got introduced to speed. It's like a form of ice. And that's when I started obviously separate from my family. Okay, so I was running away from home constantly. I was never home on weekends. And then during the week, I'd sneak out in the middle of the night, just go painting. I'll just go painting by myself. You know, just go painting by myself. Because obviously, when you get in the graffiti world, it's like making a name for yourself with your tag, everything like this. And I was getting known. You know, getting on it, fucking having fun. Because some of the best times of my life was when I was off my head. You know, but that's where we fall in love with it. Okay, that's where we start to think this is our happiness. This is where we have fun. Oh, fuck it, I'm having fun, I'm off my head. This is the best. But it's not too late until this shit just starts destroying your life. Okay, everything doesn't fall apart straight away. It's over time, because right now you're young, dumb, you don't care. You haven't got responsibilities. You're not paying fucking rent. You're not fucking got your own house. Haven't got kids, family, I don't think anyway. But, you know, later down the track is when responsibilities come into play. And if you guys keep doing what you're doing, okay, it's gangster what you're doing. You got fucking doing these earns, running the ball up, punching on with anyone, doing every breaking enters, whatever you do, stealing cars, whatever, okay? Tell me how gangster it is when you can't afford your rent in 10 years. When we don't know where your next meal's coming from. Okay, gangsters sitting in a jail cell with your family, destroying your family, destroy everyone else. Gangster to me was doing what you guys, some of you are probably doing. And like, I'll do anything to get high. When I was younger, you know, it was just started off with weed, smoking, drinking, started using speed, smoking ice in there. I was sniffing glue at pub bus stops. You know, I'll do anything, snorting butane, like inhaling butane to get high, anything to hang around with these people, sniffing glue in a fucking public toilet. That's not gangster, that's just cooked. You know what I mean? But that was what I was having fun with these people, you know, and that's my whole life. But see, this came first, my family, my future, everything, that didn't matter to me. And I destroyed my family, okay? And that's the reality of what I do. What you do is you destroy it, because we all got someone that loves us. If you don't, you got people in here that will do anything for you. I guarantee you guys can call one of these boys at any time when you're in trouble and they'll come help you, okay? Some people don't have that. You know, and the fact you're in a community like this is something I never had. And I kept going down the path of just gangstering on and just wanted to be a crim, everything like that. You know, and I ran away from home when I was about 13, 14. I was on missing persons list, everything for like 2-3 years. My photos were up in shopping centres all over Brisbane. Have you seen this kid? You know, and I was just on the run constantly, just on earns, and that was my whole life. So I kept using for years and years, daily user. Okay, I was smoking ice every day. I was running around, destroying myself. And over time, it gets away from it being fun, yeah? Okay, and then you're gonna start to need it, not just want it. You know, and that's when your addictions start, and that will come down the plaque. You might be right now, but you know, you might be having fun now, but later down the track, when you can't function without it, when you can't get up without it, when you can't face reality without it, you don't want to face reality, okay? And we start using every day. We start escaping every day. You start numbing yourself from whatever's going on, and everything else is falling apart around you. But you don't realize that because you're numbing yourself in the moment, okay? Welcome to addiction, okay? But then later down the track, okay, when everything's falling apart and you're sitting there and you can't get on, you're coming down, everything's destroyed around, you got no job, you got no purpose, you got nowhere to go, okay, and you're sitting there crying like a little girl. Like I was sitting there crying to myself multiple times, going, what the fuck's gonna happen? Okay, when I was about 18, okay, all my brothers, okay, that I'll die for, I was in painting crews, everything like that, that was my life, like I'd do anything. Haven't seen my family in years. You know, I was on the run from them for years, didn't see them for years. I was living on the streets, trap houses, I had no home. I was paying my rent places by stealing. I was paying my rent places by couch surfing and just living in trap dens. Okay, crack houses where everyone cunts is getting on every day. It was normal to be sitting next to my mate shooting up. You know, I've never touched needles, but I smoked the fuck out. I was the ice pipe man. You know, but I helped people shoot up in their neck. I helped people do all that sort of shit. That was my whole, but that was normal to me. That was fucking have a shot with red. Yeah, I'll help you, bro. If someone offered me that, I'd be like, what the fuck, no. You know what I mean? But this was normal to me. Yeah, graffiti, all this sort of shit, living this life, sitting in a fucking housing commission house, everyone off their fucking head, off there shooting up, everything like that. I've been in front of a mate when he overdosed. Okay, he died in front of me. Okay, and everyone panicked and left. I ran. I didn't stay there to help. Okay, he overdosed in front of me and he was sitting there and I'm like, fuck cops. That's what I thought. I didn't care about that person's life. You know what I mean? But that's when you're off your head like this. I was on the run, I had charges, I had shit. I was like, no, I've got to get out of here. Okay, because at the end of the day, we've all got ourselves. I was tough and I was like, oh, I've just got to fucking fight, can't just be on all the time. But when I realised, I'm like, where am I going in my life? I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I've got my friends fucking, my brothers stabbed me in the back. I haven't seen my family in years. I'm on the run from, I'm probably going to get locked up soon. What am I doing? You know, I couldn't get on, I had no money, I had nothing. You know, so something drew me to go home to my parents, but I got home to my parents at the front door and I couldn't face them. I was sitting there, I was just ashamed and embarrassed. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I going to say? What am I going to do? So then I decided to walk across the road where there was a school where I used to drink when I was younger. We used to go up on the roofs and drink and shit like that, where I used to graffiti and smash windows and just be a fucking idiot. Okay, but I went up on the roof when I was drunk and I went up there and I just thought, what's the point of me being here? You know, I was like, I'm just, what's the point of me? I can't face my family. You know, I've hurt and destroyed everyone I love. What's the point of me being here anymore? You know, and I'm like, everyone's better off without me. And that's what we all think when we get to that point. Okay, if I just leave this world and everyone's better off without me, there'll be no more pain. Okay, but I'm not here because all I've done is destroyed everyone, I've hurt everyone, and all I do, everyone's better off without me. And I tried taking my own life when I was 18. I jumped off the roof when I was 18. And then luckily I survived, but I thought that was the best way out. And I'm so grateful I survived. I'm fucking so grateful I'm here now. Okay, but when you do get to that point, you can change. Life can get better. These people will forgive you. There is so much more to life past this, and I'm telling you that right now. Okay, and I went back to my mum and dad's, which was across the road. I had a broken foot, and I went back there. I told them everything, and they open arms accepted me like nothing happened, and they were worried about me. They didn't care about years of destroying them. They didn't care about all the pain I caused. Okay, they just welcomed me back in, and they just wanted to help. You know, no one else wanted to fucking help. You know, and I was there, and they took me back in. And then the plan was for me to get sober, you know, get off the shit. Okay, go over to Christchurch. I worked with my dad overseas when I was about 18. I got out of here. I was like, yep, I'll get away from everything. And that was the plan. Okay, so I stepped away, went over there, worked for him, got sober for about 6 months. You know, I was working over there, started exercising, training, feeling good about myself. Okay, I was fucking, you know, and I got to the point where I was fucking feeling good about myself. And then I was on social media over there. I started to jump on Instagram. You know, and I seen everyone's like out clubbing and fucking having fun. I'm like, fuck yeah, everyone's having fun. It's like, it's, you know, it's just, and I came back, I'm like, I'm going to go show everyone that I've fucking changed. I'm going to go prove a point. I'm going to go show everyone who fucking doubted me. I'm come back, I'm lean, I'm looking good, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm off the drugs, I'm sober. I'm going to come back and just prove a point, show everyone, you know, I've changed. So I came back from New Zealand, even though my dad's like, don't fucking go. And I'm like, no, fuck you. And as I've always done, I've done what I want when I want. Okay, so I came back home and then I started going out drinking. Okay, I started on weekends going out to nightclubbing and shit, go out for a night out, and it was fucking fun. Okay, I had the best night, and then everyone's out there, and everyone's got, oh, there's a real estate agent here. He's got a job. Everyone, this is respectable. Everyone's out drinking, so it's okay. You know, because ice and the speed and everything, that was my issue. That was my problem. Okay, drinking, going out on weekends, everyone does that. It's fucking normal. It's okay. It's acceptable. You know, so I started going out every weekend. I held down a job. I was a labourer. I was fucking doing a rendering labouring. It was fucking shit work, fucking for some Italian, fucking working for fuck all. But every weekend I just started going out more and more. Okay, started going out. Started off on a Saturday night. Went out, had the night of my life. Met people. I was fucking mad. Next thing it was Friday, Saturday night. Okay, next thing is you get invited to kick-ons. You go to an apartment and you get all fucking twisted. I was the guy that would just do anything. I'd neck a whole bottle of vodka and I'll be the life of the party, you know what I mean? Like and then I'd always be the one always getting on the drugs. And then we started using pills and cocaine, yeah? Because pills and coke's sweet, it's not ice. We justify things. As addicts, you know, we look for things that are opposites. You know, we justify one for another because my issue back in the day was speed and ice, but drinking's okay, pills are okay, cocaine's okay, everyone does it. It's so acceptable. Yeah, because look at our culture, drinking, have a beer after work, have a beer, it's a fucking bullshit. You know, but then over time it became more and more, and then the more I went out on the weekends, I got introduced to people, and then obviously they're selling gear out there, and I was always middle of the man. I'm like, oh, he wants 5 pills, so if I charge him for 6, I can make one for me. I was a fucking entrepreneur. I'm like, you know, I never finished school, but I did math pretty good there. You know what I mean? Okay, but either way, so then I started going out middleman for drugs and shit like that, and then I'm like, I'll take my own drugs. Okay, so then I started selling my own drugs in nightclubs. Had a 10-pack of pills, went out, that was going to 2-minute shots on me. Yeah, fuck, I'm the man, let's get a booth, fucking sweet. You know, the next minute it was a 100-pack. Next minute I got 1,000. Okay, next minute I was selling to everyone in the nightclubs and shit like that. Then I started selling coke because I was using coke. Okay, and I'm like, oh, that's all right. Okay, I can sell pills. I use coke. Fucking pills are for fucking weird cunts. I'm a cokehead. Everything's okay. I got the coke. You know, you rack up with the boys in the bathroom. You get all the chicks in the booth or whatever. You want a line? Yeah, I'm the man. I've got a line here. I have a line. Okay, you know what I mean? And that's where I was getting that attention again. You know, I was getting that validation. I was a part of a community again. Everyone knew who I was. Just like back in the day when people knew who I was from being allowed, from stealing the most, painting the most trains, doing all the shit, doing the most earns, being the one that always punched on. That was what I was known for. And then that's where I fell in love with that. But in this situation, I'm accepted again. You know, but it's okay because it's nightclubs and I'm selling to real estate agents. I sold to fucking all of Ray White and fucking everything. I'm like, fuck man, I'm fucking made it. You know what I mean? Okay, when I was just some fucking drug addict fucking selling pills and fucking coke in a club. But then over time, obviously, I got in a lot of fights out, okay? Because being young, I always said, once I was bullied and I got in that whole scene I was in, I always said to myself, I'm never going to be a victim again. Yeah, because I was always made to feel weak. I was always made to feel scared and not enough. And when I got into situations where I could fight and I'd punch on and I started bashing cunts, I'm like, fuck you, I'm a man now. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking being a victim again. So I had that mentality still when I was going out clubbing, especially when you drink and shit like that, you get balls of steel. Everyone thinks they're a UFC fighter. You know, but you're going out there and punching on at nightclubs and shit as if someone ripped me off or someone owed me money or if go out and someone spilt a drink, fucking bang, just punch on a nightclub, it was sweet. But then obviously I get in trouble for it. Obviously I got a fair few charges of assaults when I was going out. Okay, and then that's where I sort of had a name, and then over time, like getting paranoid, drug use over time, it's fun at the start, but then the side effects come in, paranoia, anxiety, all these sort of things, you wig out, all this sort of shit happens. You know, so I was going out looking over my shoulder all the time because I bashed these cunts last week, they were in this group and I heard they were out there and I'm just like wigging out, and then I stopped going out. You know, I started just using in my room at home alone, okay, with the boys. I get the boys over before they go out, we're all smack lines or selling bags, they go out, whoever needs drugs, they can come to me now. So then it stopped becoming a social thing. Okay, because you use with mates, you use with fucking having fun, you have a social aspect, it's like you have fun with the boys, yeah, it's just want to go out, okay, but then as soon as you start using at home alone, game over, okay, that's when you start to use it because you're not comfortable sitting by yourself. You're not comfortable sitting there, just thinking, just being normal, sitting there watching a fucking movie, like, oh, fuck that, okay, I need to be high. So that's when I started using every day. So it started Thursday, Friday, Saturday, start snorting lines my weekend. Thursday starts, and then obviously I quit my job because I'm like, fuck this, I'm making fucking $5,000 a week in a nightclub and selling rack, bro, I don't need a job for $1,000 a week, working fucking 40 hours, I'm not doing that. But then there goes my stability. Okay, because having routine and shit like that, being in a 9 to 5 may seem boring, but it keeps you in line. Okay, without routine and structure, you've got too much free time on your hands. Even you guys coming here and shit like this, you're doing something every day, which is actually a great fucking thing. You might not realize it, but it's better than, you guys are here now, what's the alternative? You guys are sitting home, smoking cones, getting off your head, drinking, going out, doing earns, you know it. Okay, your alternatives are going back to that shit, and that's why I started using home alone. Okay, and it started off this, the weekend warrior, justifying it because I'm making all this money, and mum's like, what are you doing with your life? And I'm like, fuck, it's all sweet, look at all this cash. Here, here's $1,000 rent this week, we're good. Okay, I've got money, it's okay. She's like, you're not working. I can see, obviously she knows. Okay, and this is what happened later when my mum sat me, my brother, and my dad down. When I started using a lot at home, I started using a lot and more and more and more. She sat us all down and she told us she's got terminal cancer. Okay, so she told us and sat us all down. She's like, I've got terminal cancer. And I believe she sat us all down to sort of open my eyes up a bit. Okay, and it just did the opposite. Because all I knew how to do was escape. I'm like, fuck this, I'm not sitting with this. I didn't even cry. I went down into my room, I was selling ounces of rack a week. I was fucking sweet. I was doing well. Okay, doing well in that world, but you know what I mean? It's not doing well, but I was selling heaps. I went down, opened a fucking ounce, and just started snorting heaps of fucking rack. And that's when I started using fucking a lot. So then I started smoking more and more ice, and then I started wigging the fuck out more and more, selling gear out of this penthouse, shit happens, then next minute, bang, doors get busted in, cops raid, everything's fucked. I'm sitting there, I'm literally smoking a pipe while the cops are there, and I'm coming in, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, let me finish this cunt, all right, I'll just wait. And then I put it down, blah, blah. And then next minute, I'm in the watch house and getting charged with that. I got bail for those charges. And I got out on those charges, but the first thing I got out of watch house, I knew they raided my whole place, but I knew they didn't find this one little bag of rock that I hid. I knew it. I knew all my little spots. You know, my memory was great. Okay, so went on my first thing when I got out of watch house, when I got out on bail, was get back home, get that. I stopped into the Quickie Mart. Okay, in the Fortitude Valley there, stopped in there, grabbed those little pipe stop where these Indians sell fucking sweet puffs. I'm like, yep, sweet, bang, grab this, fuck them off. Okay, just literally just out of fucking watch house, straight there, straight back home. Literally my whole house all flipped on its fucking head. I'm sitting there in the corner, start smoking ice. I'm like, oh, this is so much better. Okay, you know, that fixes my problems. Okay, I'm doing all this while my mum's dying from fucking cancer. You know, I numbed myself so hard, I got so caught up in my bullshit, I forgot about my mum dying. You know what I mean? I forgot about all that. I escaped. I went up to North Queensland where mates started fucking running through houses, going out, punching on out there. And I got in a bad fight out there and I hurt someone up there, and we were running through houses and it was already red hot, but I got in a bad fight up there and I did hurt someone. Okay, which I regret. There's no, if you want to go punch on, go to a boxing gym and go get humbled real quick. You think you can punch on? Go and step in a boxing gym, jump in a ring and say, let's bang on. You get fucking cleaned up, bro. And then I got in the watch house. I'm like, yeah, get my lawyer, you know, because I've always just get a slap on the wrist. Most of you here, if you've been in trouble with the cops, you get a slap on the wrist, you're out, you're sweet. Okay, and we think we're invincible, yeah? Okay, and over time, you get away with it more and more. Bail, fucking suspended sentences, fucking sweet. Yeah, man, I'm untouchable, can't. Sweet, no worries. Okay, but then they're just like, bro, you're going to jail. I'm like, you're not seeing the lawyer. I'm like, fuck off, can't get my lawyer, can't. You know, because I'm a fucking master lawyer here. I know how the system works. You know, and then I'm like, get my lawyer. Like, no, we'll get your lawyer when you want. Okay, and then, anyway, believe it or not, I didn't speak to a lawyer, okay? I ended up in fucking sitting in the way I got sentenced. So then I rang my mum on the phone, I said I'm in jail, blah, 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 okay? And then sat in jail and you walk into I don't know if any of you have been a juvie or jail or anything, but you walk into a fucking 50, 100-man unit And I'm like, I'm there like iced out of my fucking head, just coming down off a fucking 10-year bender. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm going to jail. I'm like, I'm going to get fucked in the ass. I'm going to fucking, nothing's going to happen. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, I'm going to fucking bite this thing off before he gets it in my bumhole, cunt. I'm telling you. All right? But I was like, fuck, it is what it is. I'm going to go in there, I'll punch on, I'll do what I do. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, there's fucking, I'll get out of here. There's fucking, you go in there and it's just 50, 100 blokes are real crims. Like up there, and you're just I'm just some little drug addict who's selling fucking a bit of gear here and there. You know, there's people in there for murder. There's people in there that's fucking the real deal, fucking big bikies and shit like that. And I'm like, holy cunt, I'm getting fucked up here. But then I walked in there, kept my head down. It was just an experience, and I was humbled in there. I'm like, fuck, and I put my head down and started to train. I was just like, train, I'm gonna go outside, fucking 1,000 burpees today, fucking chin-ups, dips. If you know, there's no fucking weights in jail and shit. It's just chin-up bars, dip bars, push-ups, burpees. You know, and then either way, I just started training every day, and then I was just training. I ring my mum every day, and I said, I fucking love ya. I said, I promise you, no matter what, I'm going to fucking change. Because all I did in jail was reflect. And I look back, when I was sitting in my cell every night, all you got to do is time. You got time in there, and all you do is, and when you're sitting there, when reality hits you, once I sobered up and my head started clear, I just look back at everything I've done, yeah? Okay, and the people that were still there for me, my family, everything like that, okay, they were there. No one else was. No one even knew I was in fucking jail. And I look back, and my mum was dying from cancer, so I had the fear of losing her in jail. And I look back and I have not had one proud memory with my mum my whole fucking life. I look back, the only thing I remember about my mum was her crying. Okay, it was her saying, why are you hurting us? Okay, but like, what did we, like all these little things. Okay, and then all my memories of my family was pain, was hurting them, was destruction, there was no proud moments. I never finished school. Okay, I was expelled, I never finished, I've never read a book in my life. Okay, I fucking hate school, I hate all this sort of shit. Okay, and I understand, but I'm just saying, like, when you get in there and all I did was reflecting, I look back and I had nothing to be proud of. You know, and it was my biggest fucking regret. I'm like, my mum's going to die and there's not going to be one thing of evidence. So I promised her in there in jail, I said to her, I said, no matter what, I promise you, I'm never going to drink again. I'm never going to use again. I'm never going to fight again. I'm never going to do anything that's going to fucking that hurt you. I'm never going to do any of that again, I promise. And I made that promise to her in jail, okay, 2,913 days ago. And I'm 2,913 days sober to this day. So the day I made that promise to my mum is the day I changed my life. And I was sitting in jail and I faced the reality of what I'd done. You know, and I still kept that promise, and I'll keep that promise to the day I die. I haven't had a drink, I haven't had a line, I haven't had anything, I don't take Valium, nothing. Okay, I'm completely sober till that day. Okay, and I'm going to be loyal to her for the rest of my life because I was never loyal to her my whole life, the one person who stood by me, and I'll be loyal to her forever. Yeah? Okay, and then in there I promised her every day. And at the start, it's boyhood cry wolf. Yeah, Darcy, we've heard this before. Fucking same shit. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm going to show them. Yeah? Okay, every time my mum come up to visit me. The only person that come to visit me, by the way, I had my one best mate who came up to visit me, who wasn't in the scene. He was a good cunt, okay, and he's still my best mate to this day. You know, but no one else came to visit me. No one wrote to me. No letters, no nothing, okay, nothing, no one. The only person that come up was my mum dying from cancer, driving 4 hours to come see me while she was going through chemo treatment, everything. She drove to see me. Yeah, okay, and I promised her, and then I said, and every time she comes see me, she's like, you're looking healthy, Darcy. And I'm like, yep, training every day, feeling good, I couldn't wait to see her. You know, and I kept making her fucking proud every day. And I said, I promise you, I'm going to fucking make you proud every day. And I did my time, got out, and then I just said, I'm not going back. And I got out of jail. And sometimes you got to do shit you don't want to do. When I got out of jail, okay, I'm not giving opportunities. Okay, you guys have got opportunities here. You don't understand. If you grasp this and actually do something with it, you can set your future up. Okay, when I got out of jail, I had no opportunities. I had no support like this. I wish I did. Something like this can save you guys. As much as you guys say, like, sometimes you don't want to be here, shit, trust me, this shit can change your life and set you up for a future. Yeah, because in the future, you don't want to struggle. Okay, but the choices you now are going to set you up to struggle, believe it or not. But when we're making these choices, we don't care. Okay, but when I got out of jail, okay, I worked in a burger shop washing fucking dishes. I was labouring, washing toilets on a job site. I'm good. Okay, I'm never going back. So I got out, worked a job I didn't want to work, did everything I did for about a year, fucking worked 6-7 days a week, okay, rented a room in a share house for $150, ate tuna and rice every day because I couldn't afford anything else, saving money, got into PT because when I was in jail, I fell in love with exercise. Because yet again, that sense of belonging, that community that I was always falling in there, I got recognised for training. I started training with the boys, I started doing burpees with them, started training, I run like little group fitness classes. I've got like 10 of the lads and we're all doing burpee sessions outside, and I'd sit in my cell and I'd make workouts out the night before, and I'll come out and be like, oh yeah, I've got a new workout for us. And they were fucking hectic, but like with boys, and we made a community there. And I had like 10 good boys around me, weren't using, we're all good, fucking just training every day. And we're like, And it was great. And I found that sense of community in there again. That's where I fell in love with fitness and training and exercising and shit like that. Okay, then I bought that outside. I knew I wanted to be a PT, shit like that. So I worked that job, saved up for doing my PT course, got my PT course, did all that sort of shit. Okay, then I went in this gym and I'm like, fuck, I need to make something of myself, yeah? Okay, because I'm lucky enough, when I got out of jail, my mum was still here, and I said I'm not going to waste a fucking second of my life doing anything that's not going to make her proud. I'm going to make the most memories with her. I'm going to make her proud every fucking day while I can. I've been given this chance, and I believe I was given that time and chance because I made that change. Okay, I'm a big believer in, it's like you do good things happen. I was given that extra time with my mum because I actually did change. I knew it this time. Okay, my days went quicker and quicker, but every day when I started winning like that, okay, I woke up happier and happier. I was the happiest I've ever been sitting in fucking jail. Okay, yes, my mum was dying. Yes, all this was happening. I was waking up clear. I was waking up excited for the doors to unlock. I have not been excited for a day in my life forever. I could wake up and I'm like, I need to get on. My excitement was using. I'm like, I'll wake up, have that morning line. I'll wake up, have my morning pipe. Okay, that's after a fucking 10-day fucking bender. You know, but I never really loved my life. I never woke up happy. I never woke up wanting to live my life. I woke up wanting to get high. You know, and then in there I started waking up happier and happier, and it's because of my structure routine, because I was exercising every day, doing the right things, feeling good about myself. Okay, so every morning I woke up, buzzed, got up, made my bed. The thing with if you follow me on Instagram, the thing with the coffee on the face, okay, every morning I have your Bushels coffee, yeah? Okay, so I have my 3 scoops of Bushels coffee in my cup, but I didn't have a kettle in my cell, okay, because cunts get hot water and shit. But anyway, I didn't have that. But in the shower, there's one button. Your one button, it goes cold first, and then it goes hot after, yeah? Okay, so every morning I had my woke up, got up, I did my Bushels coffee, got under the cold shower, I pressed it, I did cold first, and then when it started to warm up, I stepped out and I filled up my coffee in the shower every morning. And then I had my morning coffee. You know, and then I sat down, I started to journal, I started to meditate. I didn't even know what meditating was, but I literally just closed my eyes and just imagined my mum every day and just thought of her. And then it sucks because the memories I have of pain was memories of her, was her crying. And the memories I closed my eyes was her pain. It just reminded me why I'm never doing what I'm doing again. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, and then I woke up, I journaled, I did that, wrote down, I'll never let you down, I'm never breaking this promise to my mum. I said, I'm fucking staying sober forever. I'll just write down every day, no matter what happens to mum, even if she dies in here, I'm gonna make her proud every day. I'm not gonna fall back. You know what I mean? And I reminded myself of my purpose every day, and I came into my day with those intentions. And every day I kept winning and winning. I woke up happy and happy, got out of jail, I was glowing. But I kept my routine and structure when I got out. When I got out, I woke up on my alarm every day. I kept doing my cold showers every day. I kept journaling every morning. I kept doing all these little things that set me up in there. I copy and pasted that routine and I brought it in the outside world. Most people get out of jail and they lose that structure and routine. They go back to, if people know jail, okay, you go in and out, it's like a revolving fucking door. A lot of people go back in time and time again because we get out and we lose that structure. When we're in there, we fucking thrive. Okay, you thrive in jail. Everyone in there is fucking smashing it. People in there that have never trained in their life are fucking training. Okay, you see junkies fucking there training. Oh, fuck, I love this shit. Like, yeah, go, cunt. You know what I mean? Okay, but they get out of jail and they lose all this. You know, they lose that structure. They fall back into old habits. They get lazy. They get comfortable. They start to reward themselves. They've been away. I never rewarded myself with something that destroyed me. A reward to me is not something that caused pain to everyone I love. A reward to me is not what caused me to jump off a fucking roof. A reward to me is what caused me to sit there crying, hating myself. That's not a fucking reward. Okay, a reward to me is waking up happy every day. A reward to me is making my family fucking proud. A reward to me is walking around confident, proud of how I look and feel. Okay, that's a reward to me. And if something takes that away from me and takes away from my happiness from tomorrow, destroys the people I love, that is not a fucking reward. Okay, and it's not something you should go back to. If it's destroying you and get past and you pass that point of fun, okay, it's not a reward. Okay, and it's something you cut out of your life and life will get better, but you need to work on yourself. It's not just, but even just being in here every day, connecting with people who are on the same path, doing that, you will meet better people. If you're lacking from a community, this is a community here. Get into a fucking boxing gym, something like that. There's so many communities out there where it's so positive. You don't know how to fight, you're scared to go in there. It's a great community, they'll teach you, they'll learn. You know, there's communities like this, what these boys are doing here are here to help you. You know, bringing you guys together, all the things you do together. I guarantee when you leave here, you can message them at any time and they'll say, hey, yeah, I'll come see you, I'll get a coffee. You know, you got people around you that care about you that I never had, and that community and this thing you got going on here can fucking save you, okay? Because your choices now, okay, you don't care about your choices now. Your choices now, it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, sweet, I'm getting on it, whatever. Who cares about tomorrow? Who cares about my future? Fuck it, okay? But your choices now determine if you're going to struggle later, okay? Whoever said money doesn't bring happiness, fucking bullshit. Okay, when you're paying your rent, you fucking be able to support your family, everything like this. I bought my dad a dream home. I bought after my mum, and my mum did pass. So my mum did pass about a year ago. But when she passed, I was there, I held her hand, and I promised her that another promise that I'll never break to her again is that, one, I'll stay sober, and two, that I'll always look after everyone I love. I'll always support my family, and to look after the ones I love, I need to be my best. Yeah, and when Mum passed, I bought my dad his dream home. My dad, I retired my father. He doesn't have to work a day in his life again. Okay, because my dad gave up his whole life to take care of my dying mum. He was there wiping her ass, showering her every day. She couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, she couldn't do anything. By the end of it, she couldn't go in public because she would just shit herself because it's onset diarrhea with cancer. It's fucking brutal. Okay, but Dad looked after her every day for years and gave up his life. And while he was doing that and looking after them, I was in the position to pay the rent. I paid all the bills. I supported everyone. Okay, so my family could look after them. They had no assistance. I was that person for them. If I never changed and got sober, I couldn't support my family. Okay, you want love, you want to be loved, you want to love yourself, you want to be loved by someone. Okay, success, you want to be successful, you want to have money, you want to be successful in yourself, you want to be proud of yourself, you want to fucking show up being happy. There's more success than just money, but money's fucking great, as I said. Okay, and then you want happiness. You want to wake up happy. Okay, if I say you want to wake up happy or sad, pretty fucking simple answer, yeah? Okay, we want happiness, we want love and success. Happiness for us, the people we love, everything like that. These are the three things we want, but the choices you make can destroy those three things. Okay, drugs, drinking, using, shit like that. Say goodbye to love, success, and happiness. Okay, you do not love yourself. Okay, you destroy the people you love. Okay, you're not successful. You're gonna live week to fucking week. You're gonna be broke, and all you're gonna be looking forward to is getting on. Okay, if you can get on. Okay, and then happiness. Okay, you're not waking up happy. Okay, you destroy happiness every time you use. You're not waking up happy the next day. And over time, it takes it more and more and more. And the deeper you get in that fucking hole, the worse things get. Okay, so I'm telling you, the choices you make now, I know you're young, I know you're fucking just living life and just fucking doing whatever you want, doing earns and fucking having fun. But trust me, in time, when you get old enough, when life starts to happen, responsibilities come and you're like, what the fuck, what am I doing with my life? I haven't got a job, where am I going? Well, what's my purpose? What's my direction? And you're sitting in jail, you're sitting there in a fucking room that you're renting or fucking sleeping on a couch somewhere, you know, you're going to wish you made these better choices. Okay, facts. Okay, but I didn't get out of jail until I was 25 years old. Yeah? Okay, I didn't pull, right now when you guys are sitting here, I was out there smoking ice. I didn't have any, I was still on the run smoking gear and trap houses right now. So you guys are 1,000 miles ahead of me. Okay, and where I am now, obviously I've got the house. I own 3 houses. Okay, I don't flex my shit online. I don't put up my Mercedes online on social media. I don't flex what I have. Okay, but I'm fucking sweet. Okay, I own 3 properties. I've got a fucking $5 million portfolio in property. Okay, I don't flex it online. I've got my dream car. I bought my missus a car. Bought my daddy's dream house, all the above, okay? But I can do that because of the choice I made. But I got my shit together when I was 25. Okay, so don't think right now where you are, like, oh, what am I going to do? You've still got so much time. Okay, and if you just get started making good choices now, you'll be a mile ahead of me when you're my age. Okay, I'm fucking 31 now. I got out of jail at 25. So I'm coming up to 8 years sober in about, for a couple of days. I'm coming up to my 8 years sober. That's just 8 years I've been putting in work. By the time if you start working on yourselves now, as you said, with this age group, you'll be miles ahead of me you'll be miles ahead of me. Okay, but you've got to start making them better choices now and you can have an amazing future. Okay, I never finished school. I've never read a fucking book. Still never read a book. Never going to read a book. I hate fucking reading. Okay, it's fucking shit. Okay, I hate it. All that sort of stuff for people, oh, you learn so much from books. I'm like, yeah, fucking put it on TV and I'll watch it. Okay, I'm not reading a fucking book. Okay, but you don't need to be successful in maths or English and all this other bullshit. Okay, you just need to get by in these things, learn these things. In the future, creating a business, working on yourself, things like that, working, saving money, go walk a normal job and just save and invest. They don't teach you that in school. It's like, oh, if you fail at math, you're going to fail in life. Cunt, 1 + 1, I don't even fucking know. Okay, I don't care. Okay, get a fucking calculator, cunt. I'm good. Okay, there's calculators on phones for a reason. I don't need to work that out. Okay, I've never read a fucking book, anything like that, but I'm successful as fuck. Okay, and I'm very successful in everything I did, but I just started believing in myself. I started to make the small wins happen every day. Okay, because these small wins every day, waking up on time, doing your routine, exercising, all this sort of shit, staying sober that day, it creates small positives, yeah? So I'm just saying, where you guys are now, yes, you probably have your struggles, I understand, but I'm telling you right now, there's people here that are willing to help you, and this shit is something I wish I had, and I'll be a million miles ahead of where I am now if I didn't. Okay, but then if I didn't go through everything I went through, I wouldn't be able to speak like this. I wouldn't be able to help people like this. Seriously, and use the people in here. Talk to them about what I want to do. Where do you want to be? Have a chat. Okay, because I know it's just, yeah, but I'm just saying you can make better choices, boys, in the future, and girls. But that you can have a great future. Where you are now, if you're struggling now, going through it now, and you feel like you've got no purpose and what's going on, home life shit, everything shit, you're angry, okay, fuck the system, all that sort of shit, that's okay. Okay, but trust in you, the choices you make, you can make changes and have a better life. Yeah? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, brother. Nice to meet you, brother. You too, brother. You too, bro. Okay, honestly, it's mad. Thanks for the question, bro. BCC, bro, that's a whole cunt. This is my end goal, okay? I want to speak all over the fucking world in massive stadiums in front of people and inspire as many people as I can. So doing this shit, to me, is my passion. I love it. I want to get my message out there to change lives and inspire people every day to break addictions, to get sober, to live a better life. And this is what my purpose is, okay? And this is why I'll never shut up. This is why I'll keep doing everything I'm doing here, because I know that I'm making a difference, and I'll always keep making a difference, because I know I'm having a massive impact on so many people's lives by being me and speaking my fucking truth. Okay, so this was a great opportunity. I love it.